Okay, back for Rogue Trader. It's been a minute for me, and I am very tired, so we'll see how long I play. But last we left off, we acquired a new character. The Cold
Let's
Trader
make a deal.
here, Jay is her name, who wields 2 alien pistols, and as I learned, has a special feature, which is literally just the gunslinger here, which allows her to do 2-weapon fighting, but with 0 of the debuffs, which, good old Owlcat and just having their OC characters. I guess it's one way to make it so that mercenaries aren't all that good, but, it is what it is. Or not, or at least make them competitive to mercenary characters without having to min-max them, actually. Anyways, though, we went through and leveled up everyone. So I'll just go over that quickly. So for our main character here, we got... can I see the thing? Thank you. Anyways, okay, so this, I was expecting it to pop up on the right when we clicked it, but strategic offensive, just to make it so our front line, any enemy that's killed in it, which ideally should be a good number, buffs all of our area bonuses by 1, and I assume that means 1%, because all of the area bonuses are based on percentage stuff. Right, so if you look at our character here, ideally that would make this become 18, 19, 20, whatever. So it just makes our area front line better the more people are killed in it. Well, all of our areas better the more people are killed in your front line. Hanuman, we got here. We got him a share the spoils. So that just simply allows other people killing the bounty to not be, a waste of a bounty mark, basically. And so, so he gets half buffs, but, that's still something. Vanguard, Mr. Abelard here. We gave him the, basically the ability to stop people from running past him, as far as I can tell. Which is crazy to me, because that's really what we needed, right? Because problem is Fabelard and kind of the melee characters in general for holding people down is that their opportunity attacks aren't strong enough to cripple or kill most characters, right? So doing this allows them to actually much more protect our backline by potentially causing them to change their target to him. And then I've looked at the perks, and there's basically a bunch that work off of assuming our Vanguard here has become their priority target. So this is one way to proc that. So we have 2 ways to proc priority targets: Taunting Scream and attacks of opportunity. So we have 2 ways to proc that, so that should be enough ways for us to start taking perks now that make use of that fact. Okay. Our Arc Militant Lady here, 2 stacks versatility, that effectively just reads a +10 on both weapon and ballistic skill, and then also gets us to reducing the cost of wildfire and getting the other bonuses earlier. Which is important that it's 2, because pretty reliably we can get 2 stacks per turn, right, on the first turn of run and gun. Which means that we get the threshold of 4 or more stacks for the second part of Archville's here on turn 1, pretty much guaranteed. And then it also brings us to Wildfire to 2 next turn, which is good because next turn we can't use Run and Gun, but we'll be able to use Wildfire for basically the exact same thing. Cool. Cassia, just more stuff. So anytime we debuff someone, they also lose 12 armor. Just more stuff to make Cassie hurt. And then this last, so we leveled her up, right? She was at level 15. So we got to choose so we took her down Master Tactician, so that we have a character that's actually using Master Tactician rather than Cassia's sole purpose being to use it for just eat these for additional damage to wipe the entire field. So she is actually a proper Master Tactician. So she got Inspire, which is just a damage buff, basically, using these stacks that last till the end of combat. And then we got Hidden Advantage, which allows them to have a pseudo +7 to the numbers, which matters here because most of the abilities for Master Tactician require you to have a certain number of stacks to get the second bonus. So for here, for every 10 stacks, which in our case is we can subtract 7 from all of that necessary, we get an extra bonus 1 damage. And since we are getting like 20 something, I think, pretty regularly, this will at least allow us to get plus 3 damage pretty regularly from what I remember. And yeah, so that's where we're at. You know, Abelard's a little grumbly about us having a Cold Trader, but, you know, I don't
None shall stand in my
see
way.
too much why he's that bad, because Theodora, from what we can tell, was pretty open to this type of stuff. But, you know, we'll see. I don't plan on obviously going full heretic. I've explained this like 30 times now, but, you know, very least, dabble our toes related to like the crime elements, not necessarily the heresy elements, which, you know, potato, but there's a somewhat distinction. Alright, well, I think we're done with the Shadow Quarters now. Cool. Although there's still loot over here that we're somehow not figured out how to get. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe there's something that opens up later.
Challenge for me.
Yeah, let's take a look at our journal real quick. Officers on the bridge, so when we get there, I'm not sure what we have to do to advance that, because we already said we would. Argenta, because we finished her thing. And once we get on the bridge, so we have 2 people to talk to, and then we also have the classified information for Hahnemann. I keep forgetting if his name is actually Hahnemann, but his name is Hahnemann. Mr. Pascal. Okay, and we just can't use this elevator. Okay. At least not from here. Unless. No. Okay. There's some way we get down there, but I don't really care too much. Let's get out of here. We'll go on to the Void Dock real quick. Just take a little gander. The name is Genghis Khan.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk to this NPC. I don't think there's anything else for us to actually do. Up to Khan. Okay, so we can get this. We can get Shurgen's manual. Toughness bonus to Medicaid. Oh, we know who that's going. Okay. We don't have a... Actually, we do have enough for the plasma pistol. Large med kit. And we'll bump you up a little bit. In particular, you like Holy Gifts Heretic Trophies. Everyone likes Holy Gifts and Heretic Trophies. You don't like the Mechanicus creations that much. But you will get it. Take the Holy Gift. Okay. You don't... you care a little bit about fuel. So, do we have any Mechanicus things? Grab 2 armors. Yeah. Cool. And so now we need an awkward amount. There we go. Which means we can grab this for in case anyone else wants to use a plasma pistol. So I don't think it's going to outpass the full-on plasma rifle that we have. Yeah, switching by type into weapons does not seem to do its job, so... Honestly, name probably does it better. Actually, no, it doesn't, because of the way the naming structure works. Whoa, that's a lot more damage. What the hell? Less range, that's fine. That's actually a crazy plasma pistol. Yeah, never mind. Cool. Well, glad we got that. We're gonna try to use Kahneman a little bit more at range now. Hey, Henrix, Lord Captain. Honored Interrogator, what surprise. Did you perchance leave something in your cabin? Not at all, First Officer Wernstein. I'm not in the habit of leaving a trail, but thank you of your concern. Greetings, Interrogator. To what do I owe the pleasure of this latest visit? Owing to our mutual duty to humanity, it is duty that demands I disturb your peace once more. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that inspired on Riker Minoris. I also received some information from my agents regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we are assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to your findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds, this time yours, Lord Captain. By order of blah 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 Calcazar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over the Cronus Expanse, Von Valentis says take on board the agent from the Most Holy Inquisition so we're taking him on board. This decree is effective immediately and remains in effect until decreed otherwise. What exactly causes this need to rejoin my crew? Causes the activity of humanity's enemies, including the cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in Cronus Expanse has changed. I have received an exhaustive report of my agents, and the heresy has taken root in the region in which the Von Valencius worlds lie. You'll probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. If not, I'll share what details I know, but not here. Better talk on board will not overheard. We'll play nice. I see no reason not to play too nice with the Inquisition, especially, like... Obviously, we're bending the rules a bunch regarding, like, even having, like, Indira and that stuff, for example, but I'm trying to, like, bend the rules within the confines of what is expected of a road trader's ability to bend the rules, basically. So, we'll play nice. Answer befitting your righteous service of the Emperor. Duties brought you back on board the road trader ship once more, then such as the Emperor's will. Welcome back. Thank you, sister. Honored to be traveling with you, blessed. And Jay is going to comment here. Inquisition? You never mentioned you socialized with such distinguished servants of the Emperor. I bet it'll take some truly remarkable warrant to such eminent and close attention. Mistress Haydari, ever since my first visit to Footfall, I've been hearing about your colleagues and personal talents, but I'm afraid your full name escapes me. Would you kindly refresh my memory? Laughter gets stuck in Jay's throat. She pales slightly, but forces an apologetic smile. I don't mind, Shireen. Let my full name remain not but a stray sound to you, plain and uninteresting. Master von Kolix. She's brimming with genuine joy, which she immediately hides a facade of highborn primness. Since you are with us once more, I do hope you will find time to finish our conversation about the literary works of Kolar de Best. No, they have book docs. That's nice. I'll make every effort. And I must deliver this to you, a letter from Calcazar. Okay. Like hanging on a ship, or do you have business on Footfall? Whatever case, I joined board company prior to revenue. Okay, well, let's level him up, I guess, really quickly. Yeah, we started him down the assassin path. So what abilities do we have? Oh yeah, we have to, you know, we have to also consider these, which we can't do you because I already have you. We need Psi rating 2, which I can't get to level 20, so don't actually need to worry about any of the ones we start here. Psi rating 3, definitely don't need to worry. Could get Shield of the Emperor, but let's look at our assassin points here, because I think that's honestly what we need. Okay. 25% free attack, basically. Not free, but doesn't end your turn. To start bleeding, which is lethality minus 10, divided by 10, so 9. Right, no, that's parry. Our dodge is 75. Yeah, I started getting our agility up. Anyway, so 7 7 bleeding damage is not actually terrible. Especially since this costs 0 AP. That could actually be really good. Okay, let's look at what our options are. Because I didn't think I started any of the assassin ones yet. Low priority target and gains elusive. Can move through enemies, that's pretty useful. Especially since we're using it much more as a melee character, which means we can, I think, not deal too much attack opportunity. Unclear there. Plus, so basically we'll get a lot of dodge, which will be stack theoretically really well if we get other lethality scaling items or abilities, because this will add an extra 45% to dodge, which will improve our lethality by a very large amount. 10% extra damage. Okay, poisonous strike. So armor debuff, which is useful, except we have so many other characters already ripping armor off. It's particularly our main character rips off routinely like 40-50% of armor. So we don't really need much for armor stripping, especially with Cassia also on the party, which I doubt she's going to be leaving the party. So we get a dash with reduced attack opportunity stuff. Attacks and grants 40% dodge to target for this attack. Interesting. So you make them better at dodging, but theoretically your hit chance is already very high. So if you have over 40%, actually it's interesting. Fainting attack. Less armor penetration penalty. Oh, a way to rotate the enemy, which is very useful because, right, this puts the thing on the other side. So that's actually really important to consider, I think. So this really makes the next turn better. I think Death Whisper to get some better damage over time, though, is what we're going to go for right now. Just to up his damage a bit. Plus makes an extra attack is an extra attack, especially since we have a melee range where theoretically there's more than one enemy. And potentially we'll consider you. Don't need you. Yeah. We'll stick with that for now. Okay, so let's look at... So there's obviously... Just want to double check to make sure we don't have the ability for the Cypher stuff. There's also more Psyker abilities we could grab, but... We'll take a look at those in a minute. Right. Are we level 20? Excuse me? I mean, I guess we grab Psi rating. Weird. Alright, well that's pretty obvious what to take then. But let's take a look at the archetype talents. I'm only doing this on screen because it's one character, so, and not too many levels. Okay, so let's look at these ones. Enemy suffers a crit from assassin's allies, a new opening creator, which is the other side closest to the assassin. That is going to allow you to proc seek opening better. I mean, it's not that much extra damage, but it is. I mean, it scales a lot based, right? It scales on enemy health, which is pretty good for bosses. Yeah. Another assassin attacks the enemy is at full health. You gain more likely to hit. We're not missing really ever. First use of an assassin ability costs 0 AP could be really good, except for the one we've chosen is already 0, so maybe not right now. %75% chance to deal an extra 5% damage. I mean, if we get this to 100, then we're pretty much, that's guaranteed, right? Which is not, it's already at 75. It's pretty solid, but right now bump this up to 15. So thing to consider definitely. And don't need Bringer of Doom. This is better for a ranged assassin, because we'll be likely in people's sights. Oh! Plus 10 extra just flat damage on that. That has to be good, based on like the values we've been seeing. Even on like bosses, that's a pretty good. So that's like 17 bleed damage. I think that... Oh man. Do we get a common talent ever? Characteristic ability. Not until then, and we'll definitely... So, maybe we don't get the Psyker rank. Okay, I'll take a look at some of their abilities again before. Anyways. That's decent, except for removing armor enough that direct damage is not super valuable for us. Okay, so bleeding. So we have a way of routinely doing this, and it cooldowns every turn. Oh, it's rending damage, not direct damage. So Psi rating 2 is, you know, very good because we have a lot of things that scale on Psi rating. But I'll have to. I'm going to take a quick look afterwards. So maybe not this one because this is rending, not direct. Yeah. Okay. Not direct damage. Important to remember. So that also means it will be affected by his armor. Somehow, even though it's bleeding, but, you know, it's fine. That can get pretty crazy. Granted, I think you can only hit one per turn. So, we'll see. But it doesn't say you can, but I think realistically you're hitting maybe 2 per turn at max, which is still, especially if we get agility up to, say, 6, that's an extra, you know, damage will start scaling pretty well. Don't care, line of sight's not going to be easily achievable. We're not the Heidi type assassin, ranged. Oh, that could stack pretty crazily. But we don't really have a source of direct damage right now, so I will look into it. Alright, because killing edge does direct damage, right? I assume so. Anyways. The way to stack lethality is pretty good. Could be good. Not important for us right now. Pretty good considering we apply these effects via multiple people in our party, but primarily Adira. Or not Adira, primarily Cassia. For the next attack. Or what are the bonuses here for the other abilities? Okay, allows the debuff onto that. Oh, this is interesting. Our strength isn't terrible, honestly. It's a 4, so -8 penalty on their agility resistance to fall prone. So this prevents you from having multiple people basically rush you, which is pretty great. Stance Macabre. Oh, Stance Macabre are... No, it's Dispatch. I don't know what the hell Dance Macabre is. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. Ignore me. It's right there. Dance Macabre does damage. Huh. Alright. So, before I commit to those levels, I want to double check what things we have that scale off of force. So I know we have our force weapon itself. Right, so that would, you know, give us +1 damage, so we'll do 2 damage. This will bump this to 18, which is pretty great. Word of the Emperor gets us 3 resolve, which, you know, again is important. 7 wounds. What's that one? Okay, so a little bit more health. And feeble is okay. So that will push it over to make it an actual bonus and just a lot more damage too. So that's pretty good. Where are the other things we have? Blade of Light. Is that 2 additional? Yeah, so some more side damage and some more armor pen. Great. Enemies nearby take more damage. Stabilizing factor is nice. Okay. So it's a question of... So we get Death Whisper. So we get Side Rating 2. I think we're pretty much done on the subtle, on the like other psi things that we really need, because we already grabbed all those perks. So my main thing is if so we're critting all the damn time. So it's plus 10 damage every time we use that ability, which is like once per turn, which is definitely enough to like leave someone dead. That's in like the 40-50 health range, because we'll hit them for, you know, 15-ish maybe. 17 damage is not impossible. That could leave someone finished off, especially if we had some debuffs or something going on. And that's also not factoring in the fact that we also have like a bunch of extra damage sources, and also being buffed by our biomancy. I think getting side 2 as early as possible, because we have so many buffs that require it. Because the only thing is like, what else are we going to spend this common talent on? Is really the other question. Right. So this is 20. I'm assuming. Actually, I don't know why he can get side 2. It's just he can get side 2 early, so I think we're gonna do it. Just do it early, because right, theoretically it seems like we shouldn't get him until here. Okay, now we have a lot of things that scale off of it, and this we'll see how really useful this is currently, and then see if we want to buff it. Cool. Psi Rating 2, so that means his abilities should be a lot better now. Yeah, 18 is pretty good. Or does this scale as well? It does. So actually, with the bleeding and this, we're thinking like a good amount of bleed, especially if we get that at plus 10 upgrade. Yep, 3 more damage, more armor pen. Enfeeble now brings them down 1 full value. And they take 11% more damage. This one, the other ones don't scale. Invigorate now at least heals 9 wounds, which isn't great, but like, that is, 20% health for most of the characters. Alright, cool. We got him back. I also thought he was going to be out for a little bit longer, but yeah. Alright, here's the officer meeting. All our little staffs. Lord Captain, inspection of ship systems complete. Tech briefs reporting machine parents calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for onward travel, except there's an issue must be made aware with. I just got 77 experience. Cool. I've been studying the records of the vessel's previous navigator and wanted to double check the route to Dargonis and discovered that it's not matched to one recorded into Atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out and it can no longer be used for traveling. To make matters worse, I started checking paths with Atlas, one after other, and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bustling with vivid and screaming colors. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Yeah, convenient. Warp storms are enemies like heretics and daemons. It's a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or a bolter. You're not thinking big enough. If you had a big enough flamer... Now I'm concerned that problems with astropathic communication and the Cronus Expanse are no coincidence. There's a warp disturbance on your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. You need to locate the key worlds of the Von Vlacius Protectorate as soon as possible. I'm talking about Janus, Dargonis, and Kiava Gamma. I'm charting new routes so they can be reached, and restoring control will be the necessary next step. Okay, well, we know Janus is the food one, right? Yeah, it's the agri world. Powerful food base helps supplying burgeoning protectorate and exporting provisions to other worlds at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to Governor House Fiat. Under his leadership, the world's grown ever more prosperous year after year. Okay, cool. What about the Kiava Gamma industrial world? We heard about that. Yeah, it has a Dutch Mechanics Manufactorium. Prepares for shipments. I testify to Kiava Gamma has a world marked by the omniscience patronage by its grace. The manufactorums colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Henrik coughs quietly. Bishop Tolman neglected to mention that the Gamma Manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery from forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. He turns his hard eyes on Henrik. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capacity, Von Calix. Pleased to be of service. I love Henrik's. Alright. What about Dragonis? The heart and soul, your main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Valancius Palace. I'd like to notice where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Diagnosis is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. Abelard, what do you think? The agri-world will supply your protector is something none of your servants can do without sustenance. The importance of basic supplies should not be understated. Just look at Footfall's current pitiful state. I was thinking along the same lines. I'm concerned rumors concerning Kiava Gamma, right? They seem to have some time-sensitive stuff, but we'll hear from Henrik's. No problems on Janus for many years, but something is very wrong with the industrial world right now. Delay may cost us the entire planet. Trust I don't have to explain the capital world. Losing it would make us a laughingstock for the other dynasties. Besides, the loss of chronicles and ledgers would spell a bureaucratic catastrophe. So all of them are equally vital. It falls to you decide which should be brought to the fold before the rest. Very well, very well. Sorry, I'm yawning again. I've been talking too much. The vessel and crew await your instructions. Okay. Cool. So we don't actually have to make a dialogue decision. We'll make errors. Okay. So we have a couple things. In particular, I want to figure out about that data slate. But first, let's talk to people that have actual quest stuff immediate in this area. Okay, we can talk to Jay as well. There you are. What's up, Argenta?
Greetings.
Cool. Alright, explains the strange words of the cultists on Footfall.
Yes, I'm ready. I would ask only one thing of you, rogue trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic touched by the Emperor himself. A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
Fast travel. I think she got there before me. She also knees making signs with Aquila. We actually have information on Aquila. Okay, never mind. Eyes are locked in a signature of the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. Interesting that this isn't voiced. I'd expect this. If thou seest the flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest the fall of mine, burn me. With flames of righteous fearing righteousness. But if thou seest the light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me. With wrath of fury and righteousness. For I breathe by the will of thine, for I live by the law of thine, I carry thy word, O Emperor. I bring solace to servants of thine, and ruin to foes of thine, and the fate of terror and righteousness. You need to talk, or rather I need to tell you something. Truth about how I ended up on the Von Valence's flagship and about the cultists on Footfall. I'm listening. I couldn't trust you before, I'll tell you my story and you'll see why. I'll start at the beginning, it's easier to piece everything together that way. Arriving in Expanse Footfall, no purpose, only torment. I wasn't needed, reliquary, safeguard, okay, information we already know. Yep. Okay, Lady Theodora appeared, she became, the music slowly getting louder and louder. She became an agent of divine will in a way. It was from her that I learned of a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a fairer world away from convenient warp routes, but for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. Please continue. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Argenta, the living saint. She is my patroness. The order named me after her. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. But even those blasphemers cannot touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the One Star. For the fallen ship, which now served as a resting place from the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend, no one knew its actual whereabouts. And suddenly, I, myself named after the saint, came across the information. I realized at the moment that it was a portent, that I must journey to the planet and find a ship. And so I asked Reverend to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship, demanded passage to the newly discovered planet. Why did you keep this from the Reverend? I couldn't just come out and tell him. I was a portent revealed to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hynemus the honest truth. I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found her ship and set foot on its decks, then I had laid my hands on her remains in a relic. It would have been a sign that I had truly been blessed with the saint's favor. Do we appeal more to the faith, or do we appeal to her person? Because she is very much, like, despite being heavily into dogmatic side, she is very much a kind of, like, emotional person. Not necessarily, like, by the textbook, by the religious scripture. Like, very, like, much on the, like, execute heretics end of the scripture, but not very much not on the like other guidelines of the Imperium thing. So kind of the exact opposite of what our character's dogmatic is. Alright, we'll just try to appeal this. It was understandable searching for your destiny. She looks somewhat surprised. I thought I'd been called finding the ship of my destiny. Place in the world? Perhaps. Perhaps there is something to that. Imagine Theodora was thrilled with the prospect. She lent her assistant. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. What about the One Star? I forgot to explain. The One Star is a relic kept by the saint. I belong to Order Pronatus, and we attach particular significance to holy relics. The One Star is one of the lost relics of the path, so mysterious no one knows exactly what it is. Her hagiography at the times called a banner or set of armor, a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it is a beacon of righteousness and was lost with her death. Alright, what happened? Defeat. The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by the pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know St. Argenta's hagiography by heart. I knew all legends about her. I followed the obscure clues, the description of mountains and rivers from millennial-old tales, and I was certain I had found my way to the ship. And that's when we were attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on Footfall, something about the ways, doors, please addressed to some lord, edge of daybreak. They were the same words spoken by the cultists who attacked us in Salus Prime. Okay, whole unit perished, yada yada. Only miracle that I didn't perish with them. I didn't connect them at first, the cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salus Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Conrad's betrayal. What if they are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valencia's servants? What if I led those heretics to the sacred place within my search? Sacred planet with my search. No need to blame yourself. If they had wormed their way into the Von Valencia's ranks by then, they would have found the planet. Okay. They would have found the planet, but she literally just gave us a whole, like, spiel about all of the, like, special navigation that she provided, so I don't want to, like, undermine that. Sadly, the only one who might have the answer is Conrad escaped. Oh yes, and I sincerely hope that we'll meet him again, with our friend Henrix, of course. The serpent needs to answer a few questions before I plunge into a cleansing flame. So how did you escape? Theodora's people received a distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. Okay, blah blah blah. Injuries, shuttle pulled out, and it's all blackness. She decided she should clear out the planet at different times. So that's why you didn't trust me before, correct? Yes. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as the servant of the archenemy. I'd already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of the cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I could be forthright with you, so I could not be forthright with you, so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption and the light of righteousness. And what did you find? A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped me eradicate the cultists on Footfall. I mean, that's useful information, but it's kind of a low bar. That just means I'm not a pure heretic, at least a low-level one. So to clarify, you were wounded and you never found a ship. Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, insisted on going back to defend a relic from heretics, but I was told the warp had destroyed the old route. Okay. In the event, the route was lost and all knowledge, so yeah, we'll be revisiting this when we find the planet, incidentally. Will you help me with this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? Okay, so we're not going to talk as though we're going to loot it, although we definitely will loot it, like, mechanically, I'm sure it will end up in our inventory. Let's be a little bit heretic smitey here, because we are angry at the Final Dawn. They have caused us a lot of strife, honestly, although they did kind of allow us to become the Rogue Trader, which is, they did us a favor there, I guess, but, you know, they're causing us otherwise problem. Place a hand on your shoulder, so be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will, marked by his own hand, I vow I will not relent until the Holy Relic has been returned and the heretics punished, and may the light be with us both on this path. Thanks, Argenta. Argentina. Lord Captain, Lord Captain. And we got 80 experience at the end of that. Oh dear, leveled up. 80 experience is not that much. So we got a total of like 150, which is, you know, around 6% of a level for that. Alright, Adira. What talent do we get you? We did get you Claim to Bounty, which allows you to get extra attack. Can you get Sight Rating too? No. Interesting. I don't know why. Okay. Maybe there's something about Sancted Psychers that I wasn't aware of. Let's look at our Bounty Hunter abilities here. Because theirs might be a little bit more useful for Adira due to Perception. This could be very useful, but only if, you know, we end up in a bad position. So I'm just looking for things that have perception scaling. Perception and willpower, what we level up on her. You don't need more armor pen. Guaranteed crit is nice if we kill someone with Claim to Bounty. Usually we're kind of doing it the other way around. Where we're hitting people for lightning and then claiming the bounty to finish off a straggler, but you know. 8% extra crit chance against our target is actually not terrible. And that will go up to 9% pretty soon here, so we'll probably be leveling that. So that might be what we're going for. This could be good. Most of our things seem to be like 2, so aren't the difficulty tiers, so not that big of a debuff, but it is something. And we got some warp features here. We're gonna grab those. Still don't have a way of doing mental damage, so yeah, very high chance for a crit on turn 1, but see, this is good. Right, because this allows us to buff with extra armor pen, which is better than just Adira getting armor pen. I think we might do Mind Thief, because we are kind of debuffing there. Actually, we want to do Pain Channeling. Actually, we'll do Advice and Guidance. Right, just giving them a +10 on weapon and ballistic skill whenever we apply a buff to somebody is, I think, very good here. So we'll do that. Make our buffs a little bit better. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to be using Adira too much. Okay, well, we are pretty much going to be done here, although I wanted to check the personal cogitator thing again. I don't want the... I don't think this is it. Oh. The bridge cogitator. I'm stupid. I thought I was sure it was the personal cogitator, but I guess the bridge cogitator having personal information, I think, is what's throwing me off there. So that's the map. Where is the bridge cogitator? It has to be up here, right? No? I'm just gonna wander around like a headless chicken. Pascal, help me!
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends. I am honored to belong to the priesthood of Mars. Acknowledged. May your late...
Where is the bridge cogitator? Maybe it is from the map. Oh. There we go. It just didn't, it had a weird interact. Lord Captain, machine spirit mechanism slumber. Should you wish to awaken it, use the key of your blood. Alright. Put her hand in there, takes her blood. Ready to see my requests. Pascal informed me that the system has encrypted data stored inside. I wish to know its contents. Another word, the text returns to the cogitator, raises his hands, and a pair of biorhythmic code pours out of his Vox device. Servo motors and the bowels of the machine grow louder, its undulating hum responding to the chant. Numerical combinations run down the series. Blah 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 blah. Nozzle, but yeah. Apparently it's a hidden cache on Dragonis. Data is damaged, registering intact segment. The machine spirit has spoken. The words of Kiava, Gamma, and Dragonis hold certain data repositories. Mechanism is ready to provide Rogue Trader with data keys that can unlock said. Cool. How do I accept the keys? Transfer data keys to head of Han CS via elect to a hypodermic tattoo augment. If you're ready to accept the keys, place your hand inside the server to your mouse. Alright. Oh! We can just do this. Oh. Okay. Grab that. Data has been restored, but it's only a single phrase. Litanies of motive force that is all the sacred mason was able to salvage. What about on Kiava Gamma? On the side of C's, repository Kiava Gamma has a security system guarding it. The machine spirit has discovered a code that will allow you to disable the defenses. Cool. Have the tech priest of Depths Mechanicus been able to discern how the ship was able to start her warp engine? Industry Prime spends hours pursuing the quest for knowledge in hopes of comprehending the nature of said miracle. May the Omniscience grace guide him to this journey. There's no doubt it was a miracle sent by the Omniscience, some manifestation of his will, yet the Industry Prime managed to perceive some logical connection with streams of data. I'm not privy to this connection, but the Industry Prime will surely have newly discovered knowledge of you in a detailed report. Great. So we got some stuff to do. Glad I actually checked that out. And then we have to talk to Hendrix and stuff like that, but that will be later, because I have been playing for, I think, over an hour, which is as much as I want to play at any one time, because my throat will die from voice usage.